Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the CEO of Hemlane. How you doing, Dana?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Michael.
This is a fun one. We're gonna demo a day in the life, folks. First and foremost, we'll probably hit this again at the end. Dana and the Hemlane team have given you a 30-day trial. Just go to hemlane.com, download it, play with it, see what's going on. Pretend to be a landlord for a while. And what Dana's going to do here is bring up the application and talk about maintenance and repair. And if you don't know, she's even created a 30-day trial. Whether you do the free course with the PDF or the paid course with video, it is all there for you. So here we go.
Great. So I think we've gone over in the past maintenance and repair and some of the details of it. Like, for example, you can put your own service professionals in here of who you use, and we can send them out first. And then the most important is obviously your instructions of every way you want us to handle it. At what point do you want us to call you? Dispatch preferences. I want my electrician out before your network. Who's the billing point of contact? All of that in here. So it's really important to fill that out. But once you have a request come in, if you're having our team coordinate it, it will say coordinated by Hemlane.
Got it.
The folks at Hemlane who are coordinating it are experts at maintenance and repair. I call them also just even for my primary residents to troubleshoot things.
That's awesome.
They're that good. So what you would see from that perspective is any of these requests, and I can click on them, you'll basically see what's the problem. And you'll always see troubleshooting first. So if the tenants put in a request saying, power in the kitchen is not working, the first thing you're going to see is, did you check the GFI? And this is automatic troubleshooting that happens through our chatbot, which I think we may have shown on an earlier one.
So, yep.
I'm just going to zoom in here so you can see it.
That's great.
But say you forget in your instructions to put something in there. Hemlane wants to learn with you. So what we recommend is always hide things from tenants because you want us to be coordinating it. But you could say something like this is a known issue. There's a light switch that connects to the outlet that needs to be turned on. Once you put that in there, our team knows that. And, here's the tenant responding. I tried those troubleshooting steps. Do you have anything else? Here I am as a coordinator saying, there's a light switch in the corner that must have been turned off. Do you mind turning back on that light switch, seeing if that resolves the problem? We called and left you a voicemail. Our team lets you know we're also calling the tenants. Even though they get a text message and an email, sometimes they're busy and they forget to update. So we are also doing outbound calls to them just to make sure that happens. And then we'll put tips in here of like what to do, but we're also automatically going to update your instructions. So if we know this is something, we're not only going to update your instructions here, but when I go back to this request, we're also going to make notes in there that in the future, when we have an electrician out, understanding the feasibility of rewiring it so this doesn't happen again.
Right.
And making sure that our team is helping mitigate the number of risks of future tenants accidentally switching off a light switch and something like the refrigerator no longer working.
Not good. Yeah.
So we do all of that in here. And then we'll send out work orders. This would obviously be canceled, but you can see who we're sending out. So when you do get the invoice in the system, it's actually their invoice. It's not ours. There's no upcharges on it. Everything is fully transparent. So you can see every person who's going out to your property. And you'll see that for these, like this is ABC going out for the handrails. I'll refresh this because I updated it. But what you'll be able to see here is like, we'll let them know we've assigned this out to ABC. If you don't hear from them, please call them and the tenant can go ahead and call them. You'll be able to see as the owner, you'll be able to see all of these conversations we've had, and you can jump in here if you want. You can hide from tenant or you can write something to the tenant. Most people want to hide it and let them know, hey, you're always calling this phone number.
Right.
But being able to make sure that they know exactly how things are handled. Another important thing with this is even though you can see everyone's phone numbers here on the tenant side, whoever the tenants are, like Michael Jordan and John Smith here, they won't be able to see your phone numbers. The only thing they can see is our phone number here.
Got it.
And this would be switched from maintenance coordinator to whoever is physically coordinating it. So it would have the person's name. So they would know to call me if I'm the coordinator to give me a call and walk through that update. So that's all in here. You can see the photos and docs that you can click into the work order. They can't and see the pricing. Any of the pricing, scheduling date. This hasn't been scheduled yet, but you will be able to see all of that in here.
Yeah.
And then from that perspective, with any of them, it's tagged with what the category is. So we know who to assign it out to. You could also assign it out, but typically you just are passive with it and let us do everything. So you can see where it is. There hasn't been a work order assigned, but they always hear back within 24 hours on next steps.
Mhm.
If it's an emergency, it's 4 hours. So that's a little bit about how the requests work. And then again, on your side, you're pretty much passive unless you want to update your instructions of how you want things handled or update your service professional list. And that's pretty much a quick summary.
Yeah, what I want to tell folks watching this is, a lot of you, we talk about buy box and daily discipline, and a lot of you want to spend more time. What I would tell you to do is go practice being a landlord, right? Hemlane and team have given you a 30-day trial. Go practice. Be a tenant, be a repair coordinator, just get in, file stuff. Because again, real life happens and you are in the service business. And this is a platform that could really streamline and, oh, by the way, document or provide audit trail of communications and the like. So go play with it. The 30-day trial is there. And the use cases that you put together, Dana, is something that frankly, everybody should play with, whether you get the PDF from the free course or you watch the hours of material you put together. It's very helpful.
Great. And yeah, one thing you'll see with professional tenants, this doesn't happen with all tenants, but professional tenants will, on the last day of the month say, oh, there's mold in my property, or it's been here for months, right? Because the next day they don't want to pay rent and they're withholding it. If you have a system in place, you can say, well, there's no record of that, right? Like, thanks for just letting us know now. This is the first we're hearing about it. We're going to be right on top of that. Mm-hmm. You would call it organic growth. You wouldn't call it mold, but you would be able to document of like, this is actually the first we're hearing. Here's all the requests we have, open or closed. This is the first that we're hearing about this. We're more than happy to help coordinate, but really making sure those expectations are set and making sure everyone's fair across the board.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the audit trail is something that I didn't really have in the beginning, right? When everything was just Excel spreadsheets and paper stuff actually being faxed. Yes, folks, I'm old enough to have had to use a fax machine for stuff. It's kind of crazy. So Dana, again, then go to hemlane.com. The trial is right there, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Have fun and have a great couple of weeks. Thanks again.
Great. Thanks, Michael.
Mm-hmm.